I am sweaty, child. Mic check, mic check. We good? I am like seriously sweaty. Everything's working. I was naked 24 minutes ago. I had my little swim cap, shower cap on. I was deep in the bathtub when this dropped on the docket. So just give me a second, because like from the waist down, I am pouring sweat. I was in a hot ass bath with really loud music, shaking my ass. Yes, in the bathtub. None of this. Everything that you see here, none of this. But when there is a real life emergency, okay, if there's a real life emergency, I don't bother with all of this. But if I need to boom, go from 0 to, yes, Governor, what is it? It's 15 minutes. It's 15 minutes. Oh, God. Okay. There's only been like 3 times that I've ever had to just like come as I really fully am to a full-on emergency situation, but everybody did, so it was okay. We never spoke of it again. Anyway, hello to everybody who is watching. Hit the like button. Shout out to the best mod squad on the internet. Shout out to all the subs. Shout out to all the members on Patreon and YouTube. And shout out to everybody who has got their copy of Bloodlines and Battle Rhymes. I did not have time to get the link into the description because I was too busy wrapping my brain around this and getting the description of what this is into the description. So mods, if you would be so kind as to come around with the Shopify store link is the book link for hard cover and paperback. Okay, so 26 minutes ago or so, a amicus brief hit the docket. We've been through an amicus brief before, haven't we, beloved? Yes, we have. It was some foolishness, wasn't it, beloved? Yes, it was. Not this time. Not this time. Okay, I give you the expert squad. Dr. Charis Kubrin, Professor of Criminology, Law, and Society, and Sociology. Jesus, let me start that over. Give the good doctor her good just due. Dr. Charis Kubrin, Professor of Criminology, Law, and Society, and Sociology at the University of California, Irvine. BA from Smith College, MA and PhD in Sociology from the University of Washington. Hey, girl. Hey, girl. That institution is evil, but hey, girl. Research focus. Dr. Kubrin's focus centers on the intersection of race, crime, and justice. She has extensively studied the use of rap lyrics in legal settings, arguing against their misinterpretation as literal evidence. Her research also explores immigration's impact on crime rates and the effects of criminal justice reform policies. Member of the Council on Criminal Justice, Racial Democracy, Crime, and Justice Network, Diversity Scholars Network, and Scholars Strategy Network. Now, I'm assuming, and I could be wrong, so let me just start off top, that I got these images correct, okay? If I didn't, they'll change tomorrow. But I did this rapidly. I literally started this in the bathtub on my phone as I'm getting dressed, as I'm putting on makeup before I could get to the computer. Okay. So I'm hoping that I got this right. If I did not, these images will change tomorrow. Dr. Adam Dunbar, assistant professor in the Department of Criminal Justice at the University of Nevada, Reno. Education, PhD in Criminology, Law, and Society from the University of California, Irvine. Research focus. Dr. Dunbar investigates the intersection of race and the criminal justice system. His work examines how societal attitudes about race, culture, and crime contribute to disparities in policing and punishment. He also explores public opinion on criminal justice reform and the challenges to implementing such reforms. His research has been featured in journals like Justice Quarterly, Race and Justice, and Psychology, Public Policy, and Law. Kyle Winnen, position, doctoral student in the Department of Criminology, Law, and Society at the University of California, Irvine. Education, BA and MAS in Criminology, Law, and Society from UC Irvine. Research interests. Winnen's research focuses on the effects of criminal law and legal policies on at-risk youth and indigent communities. He is particularly interested in how technological advancements influence community crime rates in addressing systemic racism within the criminal justice system. Awarded the 2024 Gil Geis Award for Excellence in Graduate Research by UC Irvine's Department of Criminology, Law, and Society. So, we're breaking down the amicus brief filed in Drake v. UMG by 4 legal and academic experts who argue that Kendrick Lamar's diss track, Not Like Us, is protected artistic expression, not defamation. The signatories we just went through. Their brief argues that diss tracks are part of a long-standing tradition in rap built on exaggeration, wordplay, and competition. These lyrics are meant to entertain and challenge, not to make literal claims. Treating them as factual statements not only threatens free speech rights under the First Amendment, but also increases the risk of racial bias in legal decisions. We're going to look at their key points, explain why the case matters for artists and fans, and unpack what it means if courts keep ignoring rap as an art form. Hello to everybody who's watching. Hit the like button if you will. Whew. Brief of scholars: Charis Kubrin, Jack Lerner, Adam Dunbar, and Kyle Winnen as Amici curiae in support of defendant's motion to dismiss. They have an attorney. Their attorney has requested admittance. If you know about the first amicus brief we went through, we didn't see that. They come as UCI, Intellectual Property Arts and Technology Clinic, University of California, Irvine School of Law. An attorney, 5 law student interns in compliance with this court's plan for student practice and certified law students pursuant to Rule 9.42 of the California Rules of Court. So professors and doctorates come forward as the experts. They have an attorney. They also have, looks like, UC Irvine School of Law. Certified law students. Baby, you could put in an amicus brief on a traffic ticket. Amicus briefs can happen at every level of court. At every level of court. Actual professionals. Ain't that nice? Ain't that nice? For those of you who are not familiar with an amicus brief, it is a document submitted to a court by someone who is not directly involved in the case, but who has a strong interest in the outcome and wants to offer information, expertise, or a perspective that may help the court make its decision. So they come as a friend to the court, not in support of any party, not at the request or urging of any party, not because they're getting anything from any party. They're not coming on behalf of UMG. They're not coming on behalf of Drake. They're not communicating with these entities and coordinating what it is that they are going to say. They have an independent, expert perspective that they want to lend to the court for the court's consideration as it makes its decision. And I will note the timing of this, that they have gotten this in time for Drake's attorneys to address it when they respond to the revised motion to dismiss. They will also have, if they see so fit, ample time within that, if the judge accepts this. So let's back all the way up. Say they have motioned to become, friends of the court and have the court consider this brief. The court has not ruled, they just filed this. But, if the court does, they'll be considering whatever the full contents of this document is when they make their decision. And if the court does accept it, Drake's attorneys have an opportunity, because their response to the motion to dismiss is not due until the 28th. So if they see fit that they need to respond to anything that's in the document we're about to look at, they can do that in that response to the motion to dismiss. And then if UMG has anything that they want to say about this, they get the final word on motion to dismiss in writing in the beginning of June. Okay? So right now, this is in the, Your Honor, we propose, we request, but we're looking at it because it's here, because these people are actually experts, because it is very interesting. This is nothing like the first one we looked at. Okay? And I've only looked at it insofar as to say that. Figure out who the people are. That was the first thing I looked at, because that, I didn't even look at the fact that they were a part of UC Irvine. I just put their names into Google, like, fucking tell me the foolishness now. And Google was like, actually, doctorate. I said, I'm going to have to get out the bathtub. How we doing, chat? How we doing? Tales from Purgatory. They are unbiased, professional, and know the law. Perfect. He is toast. Oh. Shout out to everybody who's going through finals, okay? Shout out to all of you going through that, or about to go through that, or if you just went through that. Shout out to all of you, okay? I see a lot of you that I don't get to see very often, and I just love that. But I'm trying to get to this, so I'm not going to go through the hellos, but hello, beautiful. They have their table of authorities. They go through what their interests are, the summary of their argument. what their argument is, and we'll look at the outline of their wrong tab argument right now. Rap is an established musical genre with distinct artistic conventions that courts must consider before treating lyrics as factual representations. Rap music has a long history as a rebellious and defiant art form that has developed unique and specific artistic conventions and modes of expression. The normative conventions of rap as a genre. Diss tracks, rap battles, and rap feuds are part of an established tradition in rap music involving outrageous hyperbole and exaggeration, which neither fan nor performers take as literal. If you're new here, let it go. Let hyperbole go. You don't get it. Okay. Treating rap lyrics as, the use of rap lyrics in judicial proceedings threatens to undermine important civil and constitutional rights. Treating rap lyrics as factual representations undermines First Amendment rights. Treating rap lyrics as literal makes it more likely that rap lyrics will be exploited to introduce prejudice and racial bias in other cases. And then an appendix. And then, of course, they have their table of authorities. And they cite a bunch of shit. They got some case law. They got some statutes. They got some rules. They got other authorities. Oh, look. I see 50 Cent's name. Ain't that special? Oh, this document's gonna be great, gang. It's gonna be great. No, beloved, these are independent individuals who petition the court to provide their expertise to the court for the court's consideration. They, in their professional expertise on their own, believe that this case should be dismissed. So yes, their brief is in support of UMG's motion to dismiss because they, on their own, as independent experts in these subject areas, believe that the case should be dismissed. And they are about to explain why. Hello, beautiful. Buckle up, 50 shillings. It's about to get hot in her. Okay, so yes, they have other authorities. Oh, they got a lot of those. Ooh. Yes, you see, they took their time. The individuals are nationally recognized experts on the use of rap lyrics in court. They are criminologists and scholars of criminal justice, freedom of expression, and intellectual property. They have authored landmark experimental studies demonstrating that rap evidence creates a strong risk of bias in the courtroom. A legal treatise on the use of rap lyrics in criminal proceedings. Content analyses of rap lyrics, and research on the intersection of race and the criminal justice system. They have served as expert witnesses, been widely quoted in media, and represented their research to thousands of attorneys, judges, scholars, and members of the public. As experts on rap music and its use in judicial proceedings, they seek to provide this court with the contextual framework necessary to examine rap lyrics, one that accounts for rap's history as artistic expression, its genre-specific practices, and, in particular, the unique role and normative conventions of battle raps, rap feuds, and diss tracks. A thorough understanding of this context is necessary not only to assess the defamation claim at issue in this case, but to prevent the harms that arise when courts treat rap lyrics as confessions or factual representations. I like it. Let me go get in bed and cuddle up with myself. I love that. Yes, beloved, do that. This is great. It's wooing me. It's wooing me. Mm, mm, mm. Yes, it is. It is. Oops, wrong one. It is. Oh, God damn it. Okay. There we go. Docket fund now and forever. Come through, friends of the court. Woo! Yeah! Fuck yeah! I'm bulletproof. Come through, friends of the court. Oh, God. The friends have no personal or financial stake in this case, nor any relationship to the parties to this litigation. Neither the parties nor the counsel have authored this brief in whole or in part. On May 9, 2025, Amici contacted counsel for the parties via email to determine their position on this motion. Interesting. Defendant indicated it would not oppose the motion. Plaintiff did not respond. A list of Amici Curie professors and their institutional affiliations is provided in Appendix A. The views expressed by the Friends do not purport to represent the views of the affiliated institutions. The Friends take no position on other causes of action alleged in plaintiff's complaint. They're focused, sounds like, on defamation of character, but we'll get to it. Thank you, beautiful. Appreciate it. I love it too. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. All right. Okay, all right. Yeah, defendant indicated it will not oppose the motion. Plaintiff did not respond. I don't know. You know, here's the thing. We have a claim on record from an individual that Drake paid for his legal counsel in a murder case in Canada, wherein that case was stayed wholly or in part due to the testimony of an expert on rap lyrics. I'm so sad we don't get to see discovery because I would be asking Drake so many questions about paying for Top 5's lawyer. But my point is, what's he going to do? Go out and find an expert that says rap lyrics should be admitted? I mean, it's just absurd, but we don't underestimate stupid people with a plan. Here's a summary of their argument. Me. Child, the irony. Drake's defamation claim rests on the assumption that every word of Not Like Us should be taken literally as a factual representation. This assumption is not just faulty, it is dangerous. When rap lyrics are admitted, it is because they are treated as literal. This, in turn, opens the door to racial bias and stereotypes in the courtroom, as empirical studies have demonstrated. Treating rap lyrics as literal also threatens First Amendment speech protections, and the practice already has created a demonstrable chilling effect across the industry. As this court considers whether the song lyrics at issue are expressions of opinion or rhetorical hyperbole on the one hand or assertions of fact on the other, friends respectfully urge this court to consider rap's history and artistic conventions and to recognize that diss track lyrics are far from factual representations. Do you see that respectful deference to the court? We talked about respectful deference yesterday, where we saw displays of none. Friends respectfully urge this court to consider rap's history and artistic conventions and to recognize that diss track lyrics are far from factual representations. As we demonstrate below, they are hyperbolic forms of creative expression consistent with the unique artistic practices and normative conventions of the genre. Diss tracks are an emblematic and long-standing feature of the history and cultural context of rap. They are understood by audiences not to represent factual assertions about the opposing artist, but rather to demonstrate skill and dominance meant to build allegiance and win competitions through clever wordplay, hyperbole, bluster, and demonstrations of disrespect. This court should consider this context and find the rap lyrics at issue in this case are a form of rhetorical hyperbole, not factual assertions. Ha. Rappaport. Rap is an established musical genre with distinct artistic conventions that courts must consider before treating lyrics as factual representations. Rap music has a long history as a rebellious and defiant art form that has developed unique and specific artistic conventions and modes of expression. Rap music is the verbal and musical element of hip hop, a cultural movement born in response to social conditions in predominantly Black urban communities, including economic decline, deindustrialization, urban neglect, and high crime. Hip hop comprises multiple forms of artistic expression, including breakdancing, DJing, graffiti, and emceeing. Rap is an extension of the Black American tradition of oral storytelling, and it's signifying. Woo! I'm sorry. Read the book. What I do with my fan? What I do with my fan? Woo, child. Rap is an extension of the Black American tradition of oral storytelling and signifying a technique that incorporates exaggeration, metaphor, and wordplay. The core of signifying is the intentional manipulation of language, contrasting between literal and figurative meanings to create ambiguous and intentionally complex messages. When combined with rap's use of constantly evolving Black vernacular slang and its tendency to create new words and attribute varied meanings to common words, rap is particularly susceptible to misinterpretation. It is therefore critically important that courts understand the history, norms, and artistic conventions of rap music as crucial factors in determining the meaning of rap lyrics. In the words of the California Court of Appeal, given the figurative expression which they are not intended to be and should not be read literally on their face. Case law. The normative conventions of rap as a genre. Courts frequently misinterpret rap's lyrics as literal statements of fact, overlooking rap's distinct conventions arising from both historical traditions and intense market pressures. These misinterpretations, which can amount to criminalization of rap lyrics, pose a serious threat to artistic expression. Two key normative conventions make rap particularly susceptible to misinterpretation in judicial proceedings. First, stage names and public personas are a defining feature of the genre. Oh my God! Rap artists routinely create fictionalized characters under which they perform. Marshall Mathers performs as Eminem. Jeffrey Williams performs as Young Thug, and so on. Rap artists often create a hyper-masculine, street-hardened persona for their musical careers because such personas lead to greater commercial success. But these personas rarely represent real-life identities. When asked about his song High All the Time, Curtis James Jackson III, known professionally as 50 Bitch Ass Cent, explained, "I don't drink and I don't use drugs, and I didn't back then either. I put that joint on the first record because I saw artists consistently selling 500,000 with that content." This is fucking great. This is fucking great. For the record, I added the bitch ass. They did not have that in their document. If you're listening to me and not looking at the screen, I just want to clarify that I added that. Yeah, artistic license and whatnot. Thoughts of a woman over 60. Sleep. Who needs sleep? This is getting gooder and gooder. Oh my God. Mr. Townsend 90, the fucking nerds have entered the chat with a motion on an amicus brief to the judge in support of UMG's motion to dismiss Drake's lawsuit, and they just shredded 50 Cent's ass. This is my topic carrying on. Woo! This is fucking great. I got a bunch of wonderful citations in here. Even as rap artists fabricate criminal personas, they also strive to appear authentic and proclaim they are keeping it real. But keeping it real doesn't mean lyrics should be taken as fact. The term can mean rejecting sanitized Hollywood depictions of life, revealing the complexities and depth of life in the inner city, or even fabricating criminal activities to maintain a tough image, a common practice in the rap industry. Without understanding the multi-layered complexities of rap artists Without understanding the multi-layered complexities of rap artists' claims to authenticity, courts can misconstrue rap lyrics as literal depictions of real life. Second, braggadocio, hyperbole, and competitive wordplay are among rap's most defining artistic practices. As friends discussed below, these characteristics define rap battles and diss tracks, where exaggeration and lyrical cleverness take precedent over the truth. Rappers use these battles to showcase their lyrical skill, focusing on creative insults designed to entertain and impress their audience. It is critically important that courts consider the particular artistic norms around rap battles when determining whether lyrics should be deemed factual representations. Diss tracks, rap battles, and rap feuds are part of an established tradition in rap music involving outrageous hyperbole and exaggeration, which neither fans nor performers take as literal. Competition and verbal sparring have been integral to rap music since the art form's inception in the 1970s, drawing on a long tradition in African American culture. Wow, they cited 50 Cent in here twice. Rap battles and diss tracks are often vicious, graphic, and hyperbolic, and rap lyrics regularly contain accusations of disreputable conduct, including illegal behavior. Audiences avidly follow rap feuds for their entertainment value and sheer drama. They expect exaggeration, insult, and lyrics that hit below the belt. They understand these performances are contests of verbal dexterity and lyrical domination, not factual arguments or a series of news reports. This is sexy. This shit is sexy. Damn. Historically, the creative use of language and verbal competition are found in cultural practices within the African American community. These practices, referred to as dissing, capping, roasting, or clowning, involve ritual exchange of insult. Huh? I just ascended out of my body. I just ascended out of my body. Oh my God. Is this happening? Is this happening right now? These practices, referred to as dissing, capping, roasting, or clowning, involve ritual exchange of insult. As one example, the dozens is a verbal game of dissing someone's mother using highly exaggerated, often sexually loaded, humorous, ritualized insults with expletives and profane language. Another example, signifying, is a style of verbal play where an individual denigrates another through witty play of words and irony. These games of insult are meant to showcase the intellect, sharpness of tongue, and wit of the competitors. Rap music is a continuation of these cultural traditions. In the words of rapper Ice Cube, the essence and the origin of hip hop is to battle. As a result, rap is an especially rich site of insult, where insults abound as a means of spice, rebellion, entertainment, and humor, building on the genre's traditional use of metaphor, play on words, and boasting. Nowhere is this more evident than in rap battles and diss tracks, staples of the genre. I could cry. This document is written so beautifully. For real, Nico. I don't know why this feels lighter, but it hits harder than UMG's response. This is a beautifully written document. King Jams. These white people studied the culture like a social experiment. Oh my God. They actually did do experiments, studies, etc., etc. I mean, the writing is taking me out. It is gorgeous. Again, their citations are gorgeous. Bigger by the dozens, the prevalence of Afro-based tradition in battle rap. The Dozens, A History of Rap's Mama. The Oxford Handbook of Hip Hop Music. Insulting Music, a lexicon of insult in music. A rap battle is a live contest between rappers, often performed before a crowd, where the objective is to outwit, outflow, and outdiss one's opponents. Emerging from perceived transgressions, insults, or disses, rap battles are intensely competitive verbal displays, manifestations of impoliteness, characterized by verbal aggression and lyrical invectiveness. This document is inappropriate at this point. In rap battles, two components are on display. One's linguistic and witty ability, as represented by what one's raps, and one's profile as an artist, showcased by their presentation and performance in battle. Rap battles nearly always incorporate insult. Insults can be aimed at the persona adopted by the opponent, but they can also be intended as direct attacks on the individual, emphasizing, for example, opponent's drug use, fictional criminal personas, failure to provide for one's children, and irresponsible criminal records, among other topics. Indeed, physical violence references and death threats are common in rap music and rap battles. Whether a battler uses jokes, insults, bravado, aggression, narrations, creative language, visual performance, or audience participation. Kendrick did all of those. The objective is to be victorious by displaying superior wordplay. Rap devil versus rap god, impoliteness in a rap battle, moving the crowd, crowding the MC, the co-production and contestation of Black normativity in freestyle rap battles, genre complexities in popular music, interactive oral composition, resources, strategies, and the construction of improvised utterances in a Finnish freestyle rap battle, as in Finland. Oh my God. Yo, I am Superman. You kiddo, go home. Ritual impoliteness in Chinese freestyle rap battles. Serious with wordplay, battle rap as a critical literary site and model. Importantly, battle rap artistic conventions are universal and widely understood in the rap community all over the world. Because of its rawness, battling is sometimes criticized as embodying the worst of the violence and misogyny that rap is accused of promoting. But battle rap is not a corruption of Black culture. It is the modern incarnation of long-held oral competitive and communal traditions that are seen through the African American experience. I could cry. Battle rap is not a corruption of Black culture. It is the modern incarnation of long held oral, competitive, and communal traditions. Indeed, battles remain an important symbolic space for rappers to construct, contest, and negotiate individual and collective identities. Many of rap's biggest stars, including Jay-Z, DMX, and Eminem, got their start battling. Early in his career, for instance, Jay-Z engaged in career-building battles with rap artists such as Tupac, Nas, and Mobb Deep. As battle rap evolved over time, battles shifted from primarily freestyle contests, improvisational verbal duels, to commercially released songs produced for mass audiences that involve the exchange of written or non-improvised verses that are researched and composed with the opponent in mind. These diss songs or diss tracks have become an integral part of the rap battle tradition. Defined by insult, diss tracks are a well-known tradition in rap in which verbal threats are common and glorified. In diss songs, artists verbally abuse, lay claim to territorial identities, and call into question the credibility of fellow artists. Diss tracks usually serve one of three purposes: to reclaim the respect of someone who has been put down, to put a person exhibiting hubris in their place, or to bait another person and rustle up drama. Artists aim to exalt themselves by humiliating their competitors, even as diss tracks are often limited to verbal exchanges without real life intentions and are understood by audiences as such. In insult verse, the accuracy of the charge matters less than its confident presentation. To be assertive is to be right. To be memorable is to win. Rhyme works well for insult verse because it seeks to provoke a reaction, not prove a point. Rhymes protest and enliven previous ones by creating new uses, new distinctions, agreements, and contestations. A successful rhyme demands another. David Kaplan, The Art of Rhymed Insult. Research analyzing the content of diss tracks reveals common themes and approaches. One analysis shows that rappers market themselves in violent frameworks, establishing their masculinity and authenticity through the expression of an individual's hardships, a threat of violence, a rejection of effeminacy and homosexuality, and the maintenance of a demeanor of violence and criminality. Another content analysis found that Black female rappers are commonly tested or challenged through diss tracks. Lyrics by rappers including Azalea Banks, Eve, Foxy Brown, Lil Kim, and MC Lyte threaten to physically harm competitors. I'll bruise jaws. We can go for the hands. Send crew members to incite violence. Don't let me have to call the squad with me and get it crackin'. Or kill, shoot, or stab the competitors. Rappers also accused their competitors of having had sex to gain recording deals or advance in the rap industry. Let me just say that I think it is fucking genius that they just cited a bunch of women rappers. That was genius what they just did right there. That was smart. I just gotta say. Yet another analysis finds that Eminem and Machine Gun Kelly utilized strategies commonly observed in rap battles and diss tracks, including references to physical violence and explicit threats, which is common in this subgenre. Both rappers tried to outdiss each other by verbalizing insults, curses, and dismissals, using irony and mocking in their lyrics. Verbal aggression in diss tracks are a critical way of drawing attention. As a result, diss tracks range from authentic disagreements to contrived media spectacles. Indeed, in the 1990s, disparaging other rappers in rap battles and diss tracks became a popular industry tactic for increasing rap's commercial success. Many of the conflicts or beefs between rival rappers are created as publicity stunts to raise flagging careers and sales or create interest in new releases. Diss tracks by famous artists draw the attention of hundreds of millions of people, even those who are not hip hop fans. Since responses to diss tracks take time, audiences learn details about the insults and attacks in the tracks, analyze them in detail, choose sides, and discuss them with other people in real life and on the internet. Hey guys! The battle between Eminem and Machine Gun Kelly, for example, inspired hundreds of videos and discussion posts on the internet. While insult rhymes summon allegiances, they also reconfigure them. A diss track transforms the listener's participation into an alliance. I'm having inappropriate feelings. To say an insult rhyme is to participate in it, to claim the status of an ally. Rhyme asks for the listener to experience it, not just hear it. No matter how repellent the subject it explores or how intimidating the stance it strikes, a rhyme aims to be joined. I feel like I'm in church. In short, the exchange of diss tracks presumes the audience possesses prior knowledge of rap music, predominant artists, and their histories and rivalries. Indeed, rappers are aware that their victory depends not only on factual accuracy, but on the salience of their metaphors and images, as well as on the audience's ability to make these context-dependent connections. I should have had a drink. Mm, mm, mm. Let's do a quick check-in with y'all. How you doing? How you doing? keep in mind that there are there's like page limits to what UMG can file, which I never even thought of at the time. They were sticking into that 30-page range. That may have been a rule, a specific rule of the court, that their response had to be limited in page number. You can ask for additional pages. They didn't. I don't know. I'm just saying, I see a lot of UMG didn't do this, UMG didn't do that. They definitely had a limited number of pages. They definitely had a lot more shit to address, right? This is basically addressing one thing. They had to address several things in the limited amount of space that they had to do it. And this is why amicus briefs are beneficial, because no doubt they read all of UMG's original response and UMG's revised response, and were probably, climbing up the walls for what wasn't in it and what they know to be factually true. Based on, a lot of shit. Technical term. That was the technical term right there. Hilarious. Hilarious. It's incredible. Let me catch up on all the super chats to make sure. Got everybody. T-Mac, the friend of the court, have studied rap battles for a living. Yes, they have. Thank you. Thank you, beautiful. T-Mac again. Can we take a moment to appreciate nerd Avengers defending hip hop culture and free speech against Drizzy's petulant legal antics? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We surely can. This is refreshing on several levels. It is a salve. It is a balm. All I did today was work. It was so boring. That's why I got in the bathtub. I was like, well, I guess ain't shit gonna happen that's interesting. Might as well, start my evening ritual. Shit. Hello, Ergo. This is what studying rap battles for a living look like, child. V. Conley, this is the legal equivalent to Falcon saying, on your left, Keepin Avengers Endgame. Yes! Coach Tut, this was UMG meet the Grams, a deadbeat who don't need to say nothing else. No more in life. Yeah, for real. So, yeah, this is, whew. Nico says, what are the chances of this getting accepted by the court? I think pretty high. I think pretty fucking high. I think very high. See? Fateless. I worked and then went to the dentist and then started working again. When I saw the docket update, thank God. I know that's right. Because after bath and a bunch of evening stuff, low-key, I might have done some more work. Not now. Not now. I will have another bath tonight, though. Gotta complete the ritual. I need to finish. It's so well written. It's so well written. It is a nice treat. We're going to be praying for this acceptance. Child, light candle. Okay? Say an incantation, too. Yes, child. Woo, Lord. That's why I said when I was still in the bathtub, I was like, let me Google these names. I didn't even look at their full signature line. I just got to the heading of because their names are in the first heading on the first page. I just Googled, and as soon as I saw what was coming up, I was like, I'm gonna have to get out of the bathtub. I'm gonna have to get out of the bathtub. If it had been some foolishness like last time, I would have posted a notice to y'all. Look, another bit of foolishness. We'll talk about it at some point. But I knew as soon as I saw their names, I was like, oh, this about to be some shit. Oh my God. Mm-hmm. I hope so too. It is really gorgeous. Hello to everybody who's watching. Hit that like button. If you're wondering where we're at, we are reading a gorgeous amicus brief filed by some motherfucking professionals. Okay. On Drake v. UMG. It is a motion in support of UMG's motion to dismiss, but it is their independent expert opinion. And this baby is gorgeous, baby. It's gorgeous. We're on page 16 to 22, and it has been, wow. This has been fucking great. We are deciphered. Those lawyers grew up listening to Tribe Called Quest and Wu-Tang. Gang, gang. Yes. 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 Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. If y'all are wondering who they are, hopefully I got it right. Okay. Hopefully I got the images right. As I said, I was moving fast. But if y'all are wondering who these people are, it's these people, those people, they wrote this. According to my Google research, that's who wrote this document. Okay. Yeah. So. Defending the culture. Hello, beautiful. Okay. Now they about to rip Drake's ass. They're not. They're going to be fair and impartial, but they about to rip his ass. Y'all ready? Let me wet my whistle. Holy season, white people. They definitely got MF Doom on CD. KRS-One, you must learn. Michelle Johnson, if I was the plaintiff, I wouldn't respond either after reading this brief. Again, what the fuck is he going to say? He's going to say something. Or maybe he won't. Maybe he'll ignore it. I don't even know. What the fuck is he going to say? Without UMG having the clear, this is chess, y'all. Oh God, child. Okay, so give me a second. We'll get back to it. Okay. They have filed this. We pray to God it gets accepted by the court. If it does, Drake has an opportunity to say whatever the fuck he wants to about it in his response to UMG's motion to dismiss. But this is chess, baby. UMG has the final word. If Drake objects to this, UMG is going to have a fucking field day in their final word on their motion to dismiss. Why? Because this motherfucker, first of all, signed a petition 3 years ago that said rap lyrics shouldn't be admitted in court. And then reportedly by the defendant himself, paid for an attorney for somebody on trial for murder in Canada, wherein the linchpin testimony was expert fucking testimony on rap lyrics should not be used in court. What the fuck is he going to say about this? That is meritus. What? Me yesterday. What? I literally was just writing something about Common calling him Canada Dry. I think that might be the funniest thing Common has ever said in music ever. Ever. But we will come back to this in the future. I should have made popcorn for this. You know what's crazy is I'm like, I had an early supper, but now I'm like, I'm gonna need a late dinner because I was powering down to old lady evening mode, where you have your supper about 4 or 5 and then you just do as little as possible until you fall asleep so you don't get hungry again. Child, I am burning all the calories right now. Mods, come around with them links so the chat can buy me dinner. Shit. Okay. Here we go. Okay. The use of rap lyrics in judicial proceedings threatens to undermine important civil and constitutional rights. Treating rap lyrics as factual representation undermines First Amendment rights. Drake's complaint rests on the assumption that every word of Not Like Us should be taken literally as a factual representation. Friends urge this court to recognize the danger that assumption poses to the First Amendment's guarantee of freedom of speech. When courts ignore rap music's history and artistic conventions, the effect is to deny rap the status of art and instead to flatten lyrics into literal confessions or statements of specific intent. As we discussed below, this problematic treatment has introduced racial bias and unfair prejudice in countless criminal cases, and it has created a demonstrable chilling effect across the industry, changing longtime artistic practices, a phenomenon rappers, commentators, and policymakers are discussing with increasing urgency. Hi. The United States The United States District Court for the Eastern District of Pennsylvania recently recognized this danger in a civil case involving rap lyrics and established a presumption that artistic expression is not a factual admission. In a society that treasures First Amendment expression, courts should start with a presumption that art is art, not a statement of fact. To rebut that presumption, the party offering the evidence must demonstrate that the art is the artist's attempt to tell a factual story. The mere fact that an artistic expression resembles reality is not enough because holding otherwise would risk chilling the free expression that our society holds dear. So that is a citation from a case in the Eastern District of Pennsylvania. And in that case, the court held that even a first-person narrative that resembles real life is not enough to overcome the presumption without some other indication. I'm not doing Latin. Like the inclusion of factual details that is not publicly available. Haha, Drake alluded to that. In light of the chilling effects that would occur absent this presumption, and particularly in the context of rap music, the court concluded that the First Amendment requires no less. Friends respectfully urge this court to consider the First Amendment implications of this case, to establish a similar presumption, and to reject plaintiff's invitation to assume that diss track lyrics should be taken as assertions of fact. Treating rap lyrics as literal makes it more likely that rap lyrics will be exploited to introduce prejudice and racial bias in other cases. Yep, Drake's lawsuit is racist. Yep, that's what I said. Drake's lawsuit is racist. The claim that Not Like Us should be taken literally not only threatens First Amendment rights, it has also functioned as a gateway to introduce racial bias and stereotypes in the courtroom. If rap lyrics are treated as literal, they are more likely to be found probative and to be admitted. If they are considered creative expression, they are less likely to be found relevant or to pass muster under the federal rules of evidence 403 and 404 and state equivalents. Literal Literality is thus extremely important because, as the California legislature found, a substantial body of research shows a significant risk of unfair prejudice when rap lyrics are introduced into evidence. Explicitly recognizing the connection between unfair prejudice and God, I hate legal words. Literality. In 2022, the legislature required courts to presume that the probative value of the creative expression for its literal truth is minimal, absent certain specific conditions. Research demonstrates that rap evidence can inject bias and racial prejudice into legal proceedings. This is particularly evident when considering how rap music triggers racially biased attitudes. That is, when people think about rap music, they are also thinking about race, which results in racially biased judgments. This point is supported across 3 decades worth of empirical studies. These studies demonstrate that exposure to rap music can result in an individual's judging a person as more hostile and having worse character, particularly when that person is Black. In other words, the bias activated by rap as a genre likely relates to the genre's association with the Black community. This is also evident when considering how stereotypes about the genre affect the interpretation of the lyrics. Violent lyrics represented as rap music are, on average, interpreted as more literal and more threatening than identical lyrics represented as a different genre. Similarly, individuals make inferences about a person's character based on whether they write rap lyrics, including whether they are likable and involved in criminal activity. In short, it is dangerous to assume that rap lyrics should be taken literally, because doing so opens the door to racial bias and prejudice in judicial proceedings. Introducing rap lyrics at trial is a way to invoke racial stereotypes without ever explicitly mentioning race, and to do so in a way that shapes how jurors perceive the evidence and the defendant. Friends, respectfully urge this court to be aware of the consequences that result from treating lyrics as factual assertions. For the foregoing reasons, friends respectfully urge this court to grant the defendant's motion to dismiss as to plaintiff's defamation claim. Wow. Friends are nationally recognized experts on the use of rap lyrics in court. They are criminologists and scholars of criminal justice, freedom of expression, and intellectual property. Friends have authored landmark experimental studies demonstrating that rap evidence creates a strong risk of bias in the courtroom. A legal treatise on the use of rap lyrics in criminal proceedings, content analyses of rap music, and research on the intersection of race and the criminal justice system. Friends have served as expert witnesses, been widely quoted in media, and presented their research to thousands of attorneys, judges, scholars, and members of the public. Mm, mm, mm. Drake's defamation claim rests on the assumption that every word of "not like us" should be taken literally as a factual representation. This assumption is not just faulty, it is dangerous. When rap lyrics are admitted, it is because they are treated as literal. This in turn opens the door to racial bias and stereotypes in the courtroom, as empirical studies have demonstrated. As this court considers whether the song's lyrics at issue are expressions of opinion or rhetorical hyperbole on the one hand, or assertions of fact on the other, friends respectfully urge this court to consider rap's history and artistic conventions, and to recognize that diss track lyrics are far from factual representations. Rap is an extension of the Black American tradition of oral storytelling. Mm, Well, this was exceptional. This was exceptional. T-Mac, read it again. I know, it's good. It's really, really good. Yeah. I really hope it is accepted by the court. Called Drake a danger to the arts and to Black folk at large. Yeah, they're trying to prevent precedent from being set in this case. And precedent begins with the lyrics are interpreted literally. And that is a foundation for a case going forward. Even if they resemble reality, they're not based in reality. Uh, these people are experts and then went ahead and identified a bunch of other experts and didn't even put it in a local context. They put it in a global context. They had a Japanese rap beef in there, a Finnish battle rap situation going on. Like, they dragged 50 Cent, which he fucking deserves, you old biscuit head, thirsty ass motherfucker. Deserved all that. Dragged him twice. Dragged him for something he said, and then I guess he co-wrote a book. They cited that shit. Quoted Ice Cube. That was precious. Mentioned a bunch of women rappers. Gave them all the props for how women be fucking it up in the game, you know? Gave them all the credit. Oh, aren't you pathetic? Look, y'all, we got a pathetic one. Comes in hot, doesn't know what he's talking about. Yeah. It's actually not pronounced hyperbole solely. It's pronounced hyperbole or hyperbole. If you understand the conventions of language and words, then you would know that. But you don't understand the convention of words. You only understand the region in which you grew up and how you were raised to pronounce it. Typically common for Americans who tend to be extremely arrogant and completely wrong about the conventions of language and how to pronounce words, especially English words. Like, one of the worst populations to do it on the planet. It'll be pronounced hyperbole on this channel to the day I fucking die. Good day. Also, I'm not your baby. I'm almost 50 years old. I want it entered. I want the judge to say yes. I think they have like an extreme high probability. I really do. This is a proper amicus brief or amicus brief, however you want to pronounce it. Pro hoc vice, pro hoc vici, whatever. This is proper. This is people who have expert knowledge and contextual expert knowledge that they want to avail to the court. That is what the purpose of an amicus brief is. I've read countless over the last 30 years, been a part of writing some or coordinating some. So this, to me, especially when we compare it to the last one that we saw, which was not proper at all in any way, shape, or form. I think it has a high probability of being accepted by the court and taken under advisement. Bing, bop, boom, 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 bop, bam. Red Lotus Diva, I love people living in their expertise. Ciao. Ciao. Diaz, thank you. This is for the real Meow Meow 1234, aka Princey and the Docket Fun. Big as the Hyperbole merch, please. Okay. The majority of the English language is French, German, Latin, Arabic. You want to know where your numbers come from? Miss Mia. Audrey, is it the braids, Boo? Is it the braids? Claudia says, I follow a YouTube lawyer who also pronounces it like Abs's, and he doesn't get these kinds of comments. I'm going to leave this here. Now I'm going to leave this here. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, this one's pretty tempting here. Furry Bee Productions. Americans don't speak English. Don't correct language you don't speak. Ooh, child, you are not. You are not. Baby, shut the fuck up, child. I'm here on my old lady bath time reading a document. Say thank you, drop $5 or keep it pushing. Go watch somebody who can't read. I hope the judge quote K dot like the Oscars did. Have you ever been a joint and you know it? I wonder why they don't correct that man over there that be saying hyperbole. I wonder why. What could it be? What could it be about that man who is a lawyer? I don't know. I'm just a girl. I can't figure it out on my own. So sorry. Head ass. I just got a pretty face and some titties. Meow Meow's coming in hot. Meow Meow's like, did I hear you say something about second dinner? Because I'm down for that. I think we should definitely do second dinner. Are we doing second dinner? Let's do second dinner. Keeps me fresh, you know, keeps me thinking on my toes. So yeah, we're just gonna, shout out to the nerds, you know. Again, hopefully I got their pictures right. Just give them another quick, there they are. Shout out to them for this document. V Ward, that fat boy always hungry. What are you talking about? Shout out to them for this filing. Shout out to the lawyer and the law students who worked on it. The writing is gorgeous. I mean, first of all, the arguments are clear, but the writing is, I mean, it's gorgeous. It's deferential. It's respectful. It's affirmative. It is like all of the things. It's diversified. It's so good. It's understandable. It's clear and concise. It's understandable. The balance of backing it up on legal grounds and then balancing it with just like plain language. You all very clearly understood that document. At no point in time did I have to stop. At least I don't recall. At no point in time did I have to stop and say, you're funny. Do you have another joke? Tell it to me, because that's laughable. Anyway, you all understood it. I don't think I had to stop at any point in time and be like, let me Google this. So this means no. Oh gosh. I see the OVO hoes are just out in full force. Somebody reading Drake this document. He meant, am I reading Drake this document and he's mad? Boy, if you don't pull your shit together. Marshall Irons, it struck that beautiful balance between being understandable to the layperson while not being condescending or pandering. Yes, and being deferential to the court as well, maintaining that tone. Nora, the Explorer, thank you, beautiful, for the support. Yeah, Diaz, crystal clear, precise, beautiful, concise. I'm blushing. I mean, y'all saw me reacting. I was just like, oh my God. There were a couple times where I was low-key emotional. I was thinking about things that I wrote and feeling, buoyed in my own analysis of some things. So, yeah. We are deciphered. That punk ass boy lost and called them people and told on hip hop. How do you come back with any keys to stand on? T-Mac, that amicus brief had beat switches, wordplay, gave mad cred to female rappers, black community. Yes, oral history. I mean, it was so fucking good. Oh my god. Yeah, that was really fucking good. I'm gonna enjoy watching this back tonight. I'm gonna enjoy watching this back tonight because yeah, that was incredible. So we'll see if there's so much ammunition to use against Drake if he were to object to this that I wonder if he just doesn't say anything, at least for now, and just lets it ride on whatever the judge decides. And then they decide in their response to the motion to dismiss if they're going to say anything about it or not. But usually parties don't weigh in, at least in my experience. Okay. Parties don't weigh in on like, yeah, judge, we think you should take this amicus. They usually are just like, there it is. Let's see what the judge does with it, you know? But if Drake were to oppose it, oh, UMG is going to slide on that docket so fucking fast. Point of order. They're going to slide on the docket so fucking fast. So strategically, the smart thing would be just let it ride. Let the judge decide what the judge is going to decide. And we'll figure out if we have anything to say about it in our motion to dismiss or not. But to pop up onto the docket now gives UMG a free fucking opportunity to humiliate his ass because he looks like a whole fucking fool if he jumps up right now to object to this. They have too much ammunition on you fucking hypocrite. Really? Really? This is for the judge. People are saying, what's the timeline? When will the judge decide? Probably relatively quickly. I would imagine within 5 business days, depending on, judges have other cases, right? So even though we're sitting around waiting for the next big docket update, the judge is not. The judge has a full-time job working other cases. So typically what happens when something comes in is the clerks write a little brief for the judge on what has come in. And they will tell the judge in that what they think about it and why from a legal perspective. And then they hand it off to the judge. And then the judge looks at it and decides, what do I want to do with this? But so depending on what else they have going on, I can't remember if it's a woman or a man, but depending on what else they got going on, I'd say 5 business days. So, like I said, in my experience, when every amicus brief I've ever been a part of has been a group of entities. I don't recall ever seeing any of the parties preemptively respond to whether or not an amicus brief should or should not be filed by the court. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. that could be the case. So I can only go off of my experience, which is that both sides just wait to see what the judge is going to do. Because you just kind of respect it as an independent communication to the judge. Unless you think it's outlandish in some fucking kind of way. But again, even in the In the last one we saw, did we see any parties jump onto the docket and say, do or don't accept this amicus brief from Joe Cat? No. We did not see any party jump up when he tried to file his amicus brief and say, do or don't accept this. They just said, we'll see. Well, we'll see what happens with this shit. And the judge said, meow. That might be that might be a subsection of the book. Revenge of the Nerds. Yeah. So we'll see. Otherwise, the docket plugs along boringly. There was a document that came up earlier onto the docket. Super boring. It's all about electronic document storage. So anybody running around talking about he's got the contracts, nah, 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 nah. No. Aw, thanks. Thanks. Money and vengeance. That's the motivation. He wants money and is mad. His feelings are hurt. So no, it does not. They will just say yes, this is relevant and potentially beneficial information for the court to consider, or no, it's not. That's it. It's just one or the other. But it should not be considered an indication of how they're going to rule. Nobody should be considering really how the judge is going to rule because the arguments aren't even in. They're not done arguing motion to dismiss. They've got Drake has to respond, then UMG gets the final word in writing, then they have a hearing on June 30th before the judge. The judge is not going to make a decision at the end of that hearing. The judge is going to take everything under advisement, everything that's been written, everything that was argued in person, and then they're going to take as much time as they need to research and write their decision on the motion to dismiss. And that's probably going to take a couple weeks. M2, hello, beautiful. Do we think motion to dismiss has any chance specifically on payola? I said this in the revised, right now it's ping pong. It's tennis, right? It's tennis and we're mid-match because not all of the arguments are in. But I felt like UMG's revised motion to dismiss was stronger. And one of the reasons why it was stronger is because Drake's revised lawsuit was weaker on payola in particular. So whereas before things were revised, I was like, I think payola is going to squeak through, but everything else might get dismissed. After I read Drake's revised lawsuit and then UMG's revised motion to dismiss, I was like, I don't know. I think they got a chance at arguing down payola, but we'll see. Drake has an opportunity to respond. He's going to respond on the 28th of this month. And then in early June, UMG will have their final word on their motion to dismiss. And then they go before the judge on June 30th. Get into a little mud ring and they fight. Good night, Skip. Chaos. If defamation and harassment was dismissed, but payola stays, is there still a substantial threat on the genre? It's completely a different case. And we probably stopped talking about it because I don't give a shit about payola. I really don't care. I don't. It doesn't mean anything to me. First of all, it's boring, right? It's not that interesting. Um, it becomes a completely different case. If there's no defamation and no second-degree harassment, it becomes a completely different case. And yes, the impact on the genre is minimal to none. Because then it's just business dealings. The impact on the genre comes in defamation and second-degree harassment. That's where we could see a significant impact on the genre of rap. But payola? Nah. I was just researching this the other day. Ah, the old days. The good old days. Baby judges don't ask people for depositions. Judges don't do that. So never. The judge is never going to ask Kendrick for a deposition because judges don't ask for depositions. Lawyers. Good follow-up question, Stout. Lawyers are responsible for depositions. And it's a civil case. So I'm just going to say that depending on the court and the case, sometimes you can just ignore a civil subpoena. I'm not going to do that. Just no. I'm not going to do that. I've seen that happen several times. Several times I'm not participating in this shit. This ain't got shit to do with me. I'm not doing it. No. I've seen that in subpoenas for depositions, and I've seen that in subpoenas for materials, records, etc., where people are just like, you must be fucking joking. No, and the answer is no. So, hey. Also, depositions don't happen in court. They happen behind closed doors. And I don't think... I was thinking about this earlier today. as a matter of fact. I don't know if I landed anywhere on it, but I was thinking earlier today, what are the pluses and minuses of trying to depose Kendrick on the Drake side? And I don't think they're going to do it, first of all. And if they do try, I don't know that they'll necessarily be successful. On occasion, I'm just explaining, clarifying for people who keep saying in court, depositions don't happen in court. That's testimony. That's something else. Yeah, sometimes they are released, sometimes not. Actually, most of the time, not. Yeah, that would be stupid, and the case would be over. What'd we say last night? It's too stupid to come in good faith. That applies today. That applies today. And Drake is a bitch ass. Okay? Drake is a bitch ass nigga. Drake has always been a bitch ass nigga. He doesn't actually do real confrontation. He's never gotten into a fight in his fucking life. He ain't been through nothing. All he can do is send pencil dick lawyers after people. That's all he can do is weaponize his money. Because he's a bitch ass nigga. He's always been a bitch ass nigga. He's always gonna be a bitch ass nigga. He was a bitch ass nigga long before this. That's his DNA. Put it under a microscope, like alphabet soup. All you gonna see is ban, ban, ban. Just twists and spirals. Bitch, ass, nigga. That's it. Fighting with his mother over tuna fish bagels does not count. Yeah, he's gonna be a bitch ass nigga for the rest of his life. Baby, we in the end of the LBG. Okay. But I promise you, you are going to love the replay on this. You are gonna love it. Love it, love it, love it. Hong gang. It is fantastic. I'm gonna enjoy it. uh, Michelle Johnson trying to sue for his character being in a wheelchair was wow. Yeah. Nigga, you want a teeny bop soap opera. What do you expect? Shit. Yeah. Baby sis 6.0. Drake is a band fan. That's exactly right. He is a band fan. And he's doing what works for him. So people who are like, "I don't get it. Why do people do anything?" Because it works for them. He's not from the culture. He doesn't give a fuck about the culture. He doesn't give a fuck if he hurts the culture. He wants some coin. And he wants to rewrite history where white people care. Because that's where his true proximity lies. It's not to us. It's to them. Baby, we had a live. You can run it back. Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I was just listening to the soundtrack earlier. I listen to a part of it almost every day. Meanwhile, Luther is still number 1 on the charts. D2B2. He's a band, a fan, a hand, a land, UMG in 5. Andrea speaks. Drake got to see clips of tens of thousands of people singing that song every other night. That makes me smile. Yeah. M2, he's in for a rude awakening when he finds out that white culture really doesn't care about him at all. At all. I think he's over being cared about. He just knows who holds the purse strings. And he's a hoe. In need of money. But he's got to show them, I don't sleep with the hard R's anymore. I'm good. I'm pure now. I've repented. Bitch ass. I don't care if he classifies himself as white or not. He acts white. He's got a white supremacist mindset. Always has. And him saying, not like us and all of us are anti-Semitic, fuck him for that forever. And that it was an intentional incitement to violence against him as a Jew, fuck him for that forever. Forever. This case is dangerous. I've been saying that since day 1. So people, this is impossible. It's very possible. It is not a given that this case is going to get dismissed, and I have said that from day 1. Not a given. Has my hope increased over time? Yeah. Do I see a pathway for dismissal? Yeah. Will I be surprised if it is not dismissed? No. I will not. But shit like this buoys my soul. Buoys my belief. Because lawyers on both sides are obviously biased. So for independent experts to slide on the docket and say, respectfully, Your Honor, may we have a word? That's really powerful. And I really, really hope that they are successful because they are right. And they would know. They're literally the fucking experts. They would know. It is pretty funny. When they said empirical studies, child. Afro butterflies started from the docket. Now we here. When they said empirical studies, they said empirical studies a couple times. They cited a bunch of shit. I'm like, I think I have a reading list now. Low key. I'm going to go through all their little footnotes. I'll find all the little articles and little bookies that they were talking about, because what the hell? Empirical evidence, research, and studies over the past 30 years? Wow. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I'm all the way here for it. It's restorative. It's restorative. Not opinion, not feelings. This is rap. That's what they said. I should send them a sweatshirt. This is fucking rap. And they explained it to the judge. The conventions of a rap feud, the conventions of rap, the conventions of a diss track. I was very saddened when, from the first motion to dismiss to the second motion to dismiss, conventions of a rap battle language was no longer there, or it was they shortened it to address some other things. So to get a whole ass document from subject matter experts. I love a subject matter expert. I love a subject matter expert, because these are people you can't argue or debate with because they know facts about shit. Yes, I have subject matter expertise in a few areas that I work in, and I don't debate shit with people. Well, you all already know that, but that's one of the reasons why. When you have subject matter expertise in something, you don't debate with people. Why? Because I'm the expert. You just have an opinion, and I don't give a shit about your opinion. It's like having the Library of Alexandria of rap and hip hop. I was just like, yeah, that's gonna be a good little list. Good little list. Maybe we'll be able to hear it finally. Hey, be dead ass, Your Honor. This hip hop. Why we still here? Ah, boy, oh boy. And the law students, again, everybody who wrote this did an incredible job. Everybody who wrote this did an incredible job. Oh, Marshall Irons, I've been saying this since day one. He is an aging rapper, right? White, black, Latino, it doesn't matter. He's 38 years old. He's an aging rapper. Period. You get to 40, you are rap Gramps territory. So everything is on the decline. You can be the most streamed in a category and still have your numbers declining from year over year to the year previous, or 2 years previous, or 3 years previous. That's just the natural life cycle of a rapper. You don't get more money on subsequent contracts, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Especially if you're not growing or being interesting. Exactly. Exactly. But it doesn't matter. He got 100 and whatever mil. It doesn't matter if 5 people watch it. He got paid. He got a guaranteed contract as long as he does his, you know, obligatory once a week shit. He don't care about quality. This is the nigga that made Honestly Nevermind and Give Me a Hug and Madre Padre. This nigga don't care about quality. Come on, fam. He just cares about cash. This bullshit right here. Hi, beautiful. Wagwan Delilah. Some sassy songs for you. Horse shit. Nickelodeon, and just wait until he tries to sue for his body of work. And that's what the thing that just irritates me and lets me know that he's a bitch ass and lazy and entitled because it's a contract negotiation, nigga. How about you just walk? Rhetorical question. This decline was happening way before the battle. Yes, Afro Butterfly. Oh, I love this. Some soggy songs for you. Very good. Very good. Tiptoe, pivot, walk, nigga. It's not that hard. Tiptoe, pivot, walk. The instructions of the dance are in the song. He could be, but he's lazy. Shit. Evan Sweet. He has never cared about quality. Everything has always been given to him. That's where the entitlement comes from. I know. I know. Yeah. Yeah, entitlement, crazy off the chain entitlement. Crazy off the chain entitlement. And it's hard coded into him from his youth. So he hasn't hit rock bottom yet. It's not going to change. So, well, guys, I'm going to go find my second supper. I'm going to give Princey a little something, something too, because he's going to be like, why are you eating? And I'm not eating. And I don't want to deal with that. Y'all know I'm waiting for Judge Swain to come through on the Rodney O lawsuit. Every day that goes by, I'm like, this is fucking torture. But I just have to believe that she's writing a thorough ass decision about what's going to happen with that lawsuit. So hopefully I'll see you soon about that. And it'll be good. I just know it'll be good. So yeah, replay gang, for those who joined late, enjoy this live. It was really nice. And I enjoyed seeing you and hanging out with y'all. Y'all have good sleeps now. Have some good sleeps. Have a beautiful day tomorrow. I will see you soon. Peace.